You know what I've noticed? People care about animals more so than human beings. That probably has to do with the fact that it's easier to take care of an animal than a child, I suppose. People care about animals more so than a child. Whilst would there be more commercials on um, what's it called, sponsoring and giving an animal a shelter and a home, versus commercials that talk about sponsoring a child and giving a child a home that he or she needs. There are more commercials on animals than there are when it comes to having kids, than there are when it comes to children who are suffering as orphans around the world. People care about animals more, and I've seen them show more affection towards animals than kids. And I find that to be very unfair because children are the symbol of the future generation. So, with that being said, human beings should be considered more valuable than animals because we are more superior than animals. We are the most intelligent life form on the face of this earth, not animals. Animals have done their part. We've used animals for transportation. We've used them for war, for helping us in times of war. We've also helped us when it comes to protecting us and helping the blind. But they've done their purpose for helping human beings. But human beings, we've done our purpose to help the entire world and make a difference for the future through not just through technology, through the light bulb, inventing the wheel, other forms of transportation like the first automobile, the motorcycle, airplanes, thanks to the Wright brothers, the first telephone ever invented by Alexander Graham Bell. The list goes on and on and on. So I just don't understand why people still somehow see people care about animals more so than they care about children. People always cared about animals more than children. I mean, I've noticed this for the past 10, 15 years now, and it's rather bothersome to me that that's the case. Because us humans, we need to stick with each other. Us humans got to stick together. I mean, here's the thing, it's good to care about animals. I'm not saying animals are worthless. Far from it. Here's the thing, like, I mean, if you want, it's sad, for example, like when we hear about if bears were gonna go extinct, that would be a sad story, obviously. That would be a sad reality, obviously. But do you think a bear will be affectionate towards you and show you compassion? I don't think so. It's just gonna rip you apart. So, so why do we care more about animals when animals don't even care about us as much as a human being would care about you? Just think about that for a second, because that's clearly not the case. If we're talking about domesticated animals, that's a different story. I'm not going to go there. But the thing is, people care about animals more so than children. I mean, if you want the human race to flourish, and if you want to see a difference in humanity, start by caring about your fellow human being. And better yet, start caring about children because they're the symbol of the future. They're the ones that can make a difference because human beings are the ones who made a difference. And children may very well be that driving force to make the future a better place because they are the symbol of the future generations. That is a fact. There's nothing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong about caring about animals or even caring about plants because they have feelings like we do. They have emotions. But this is not fair how people think that, well, I prefer to have a pet than children. Even if you don't want to have children, you have to acknowledge the fact that us human beings, even children, are superior compared to animals. We're the most intelligent life form on the face of this earth. Not these creatures called animals. I mean, have a lot of value, but they don't deserve to be valued as much as human beings. They don't. There's a reason why we exist and why we made the world a better place. Because animals couldn't do that. That's just a fact. I mean, maybe when it comes to their own offspring, they can make a difference. Maybe when it comes to, the animal kingdom, they may make a difference. But they only do that to what's it called? Keep the race of their own species, flourishing. That's it. But at least when they become desperate, they breed with other species like tigers and lions. You have ligers, for crying out loud. But 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 the thing is, people just care about animals more so than human beings. Maybe because an animal doesn't need as much attention as much as a child does. Because when you have a baby, and even when the child's like up to like 6 or 7 years old or 8 years old, you can't leave a child alone in the house like that when the child is like when he or she is like 6 or 7 years old. You can't do that. Anything bad can happen to the child. Someone could break in, kidnapping, and the list goes on and on and on when it comes to taking care of children. But for an animal, you can leave your own pet. If you have pets, you can leave them inside the house for 2 weeks. You give it some food, and it's gonna be a-okay, no problems. And when you can just leave the animal food and water. Your pet's gonna be fine, and when you come back, it's gonna be healthy just as it was before. But when we stop to think about it, children, people don't care about children as much as animals do. You would think that human beings would support each other, but instead they support other species like animals. We are technically animals, yes, but animals are not human beings. They existed before us. That's why we call ourselves animals. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. And the fact that we have more similarities with them than obviously plants and fungi, but still, it just doesn't make any sense. Human beings have to come first, not so much animals. Because if people don't show as much care towards human beings, then that means the human race is not going to flourish, and we'll have a lack of empathy and compassion for one another. And this is not the world that we want to see. We want to see a world that's better. Um, we're not going to have a utopian existence, but we can at least strive towards making a difference and reaching a goal towards peace. And that's pretty much my 2 cents. Those are my 2 cents in as far as I'm concerned. A lot of animals, they have compassion, they have empathy, they have emotions, they can feel pain just like us human beings do. But us humans are always going to be more superior than animals. And we always have to come first. Animals have a lot of value. They do. And they can be like family to us. And I know this from experience. I mean, I know this already. So with that being said, this is why I always tell people, like, I mean, people care about animals more so than children. And it's a sad reality, but this is the world that we live in. But I think we should try and make that difference. I mean, at least I would like to try and do that. But I don't know. Maybe the trend might start changing. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all take care now.